You know, when you stand at the edge of a steep cliff, there's like a very obvious biological fear of accidentally falling. But the philosopher Søren Kierkegaard pointed out something way weirder.
Right, the idea that we are also terrified by the sudden, overwhelming realization that we have the absolute freedom to just jump.
Yeah, exactly. He called it the dizziness of freedom. And, well, you sent us this report on the fear of the unknown for today's deep dive, and it turns out Kierkegaard was totally right.
Oh, absolutely. Neurobiology proves our brains actually hate uncertainty more than physical danger.
So our mission today is to decode exactly why that happens and how you can finally conquer it. Okay, let's unpack this.
To really grasp this existential dread, we first have to look at the brain's physical wiring. I mean, essentially, the human brain is a prediction machine.
Right, like it evolved to forecast the future, to conserve energy, and keep you alive.
Exactly. But to do that, it obviously needs data. And neurobiology draws a very strict line between two types of uncertainty, which are risk and ambiguity.
The source you provided uses a slot machine to explain this, but let me try a different analogy.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
So, risk is like playing a hand of poker. You don't know if you'll win, but you know the rules and the odds of drawing a spade.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
But ambiguity is like playing poker, and halfway through, the dealer replaces the deck with you-know cards, and the room just goes completely dark. You have zero information.
That is a brilliant way to put it.
But what I don't quite get is why the brain's threat detection center, the amygdala, treats that missing information exactly like an actual physical predator in the room.
Well, what's fascinating here is the mechanism behind that panic. Modern neuroscience uses this framework called predictive processing.
Okay, predictive processing.
Yeah, think of it like a computer encountering a corrupted file. When the brain can't predict what's next, it doesn't just process a lack of data as, nothing.
Oh, it assumes the absolute worst-case scenario to keep you alive, doesn't it?
It has to. That blank space isn't empty to your brain. It's a hidden tiger. And that prediction error signaled a region in your brainstem to instantly flood your nervous system with stress hormones.
Wait, I'm stuck on how we actually cope with that. The report talks about us creating psychological safety behaviors.
Right. We try to protect ourselves.
But like if I'm worried about my job security, updating my resume is a safety behavior. Right, that's just practical. The source compares it to someone wearing heavy, suffocating firefighting gear 24 hours a day to fight non-existent sparks.
Well, updating a resume is preparation. Wearing the fire suit, that is paranoia. In psychology, this extreme reaction is called intolerance of uncertainty, or IU.
Because you aren't just preparing for a possibility.
Exactly. You are exhausting yourself preparing for an inferno, and when the house doesn't burn down, you falsely believe the suit saved you. This drives us to two extremes.
Oh, right. The report mentioned prospective anxiety and inhibitory anxiety.
Yes. So prospective anxiety is the frantic over-preparer. The person who researches a mild headache for 5 hours online or refreshes their work email 10 times a night.
Just to feel safe. And on the other end is inhibitory anxiety, the paralyzed avoider.
Right. That's the person who stays in a toxic job simply because the misery they know feels safer than the ambiguity of the job market.
If our biology has always been wired this way to avoid the hidden tiger, why are we suddenly so much more anxious today than people were 100 years ago? Did our environment just change faster than our evolution?
It really did.
Sure.
Sociologist Zygmunt Bauman describes this as the shift from solid modernity to liquid modernity.
You mean how society used to be really rigid? Your career, your hometown, your social class, it was highly predictable, like riding a train on predetermined tracks.
Exactly. But today, those institutions have melted. You have infinite choices, so you're basically drifting alone on a raft in the ocean.
But isn't having infinite choices a good thing? I mean, we usually equate freedom with happiness, not paralysis.
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it explains so much about our current cultural climate. When faced with this liquid, chaotic reality where you have to draw your own map from scratch every single day, the intolerance of uncertainty spikes. It's actually a major driver behind conspiracy theories.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. Psychologically, it is far more comforting to believe that a highly organized, malevolent cabal is secretly controlling everything.
Oh, I see. Rather than accepting the terrifying randomness of a fragile world where nobody is in control.
Precisely.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The clinical fix for all this is completely counterintuitive. Logic doesn't work here. You can't just talk yourself out of the fear.
Right, the solution actually relies on behavioral experiment.
Yeah, you have to intentionally drop your safety behaviors. If you always check your work email 10 times a night, you have to turn your phone off at 6.
You have to prove to your brain, through lived experience, that ambiguity isn't lethal.
Exactly. You can't control the chaotic ocean, but you can learn to surf.
And that leads to one final thought for you to mull over. The clinical research shows that joy, innovation, and romance are birthed exclusively in the space of uncertainty.
Oh, because if you knew the exact outcome of an art project or a relationship in advance, it would just strip it of all vitality.
Exactly. So ask yourself, what incredible life experience are you currently blocking by aggressively clinging to the safety of the known? Because standing on that cliff, feeling the dizziness of freedom well, that might just be the exact moment you need to jump.